and welcome to Wednesday Wisdom. So today I'm going to talk to you about the scalenes, and they're really small muscles in the side of the neck that come down very slightly towards the front and disappear underneath the collarbone, and they attach onto the first couple of ribs. Now the reason these muscles are so important is because for many of us, we have moments of stress throughout our daily lives where we're not breathing deeply, we're not necessarily breathing all the way down into the belly, and lots of little things, shock or anxiety or stress or emotional responses can mean that we then breathe a little higher up into the chest, and then all of these little tiny muscles, which we call accessory muscles, start to work and overwork in this case. They're pretty small. For the majority of people they are tight, but many people don't know that because they don't spend time massaging the sides of the neck particularly, or they're a little bit worried about it being a vulnerable area, so they're perhaps afraid to touch it. So I'm just going to talk you through a quick little massage to give you a little bit more confidence in working on that area. If you've got any kind of injury in the arm, whether it's the hand, the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder, you're very likely to have trigger points in your scalenes, which is just tiny little knots basically, which we need to massage fairly firmly to alleviate some of those problems, and they will often then have a knock-on effect on other issues through the arm and the upper body. So really important little muscles to get to know. So I've got a book here with some lovely pictures of the anatomy of these muscles. So you can see the scalenes run down the side of the neck, they attach to the side of the neck, and they run all the way down underneath the collarbone, which is cut away here, and onto the first rib, and then there's 3 sets of them basically. You've got 3 different scalenes. Similar thing here, running down the sides of the neck and underneath the collarbone to the first rib, and then you've got one more over the page where it starts a little lower but has a similar trajectory underneath the collarbone. This one though attaches to the second rib down. So that's where they are situated. So moving on to how to massage them, we want to, so let's mirror each other. If you take your left hand across to the right side of your neck, and you've got this really sort of obvious ropey muscle that goes from your skull down and across diagonally towards the breastbone in the centre. You should be able to find that fairly easily between your thumb and your fingers, and just give it a little bit of a waggle. It should feel sort of reasonably loose, and it shouldn't be too tight, otherwise you can perhaps give that a little gentle massage as well. So it's like just a rope that runs along the diagonal. Find that, and then if you sort of pause with your hands in that gripping position, then just very lightly, no major pressure, and you feel where your fingers are. Remove your thumb so you feel where the fingers are, and then change hands. So you're now going to use your right hand and place the fingers exactly where the fingers of your left hand were. So once you've got those right fingers, you're basically just pushing straight in towards the side of the neck. This is almost impossible to do with long fingernails, I should have mentioned that. And just have a little bit of a play. Remember from the pictures, some of these muscles just sit slightly further forward on the side of the neck, some sit just slightly further back on the side of the neck, and they all run down underneath the collarbone. So have a little fiddle with where those muscles feel tight. Try and stay nice and relaxed through the shoulders whilst you're doing that. You can work your fingers gently all the way up towards the neck. You can work them, gently all the way down to the collarbone, and that's normally where I want my opposite hand again. So I'm trying to be fairly ergonomic with how I apply the pressure. So if I come back to my left hand again now, I'm using finger point touch again, and I'm just going to press down into the space above the collarbone, and that's where those muscles disappear under the collarbone. So they're likely to be very tight there. Do make sure you keep breathing while you do this, because your possible response might be, ouch. But if you find an horrible bit, you find a bit that feels really nasty, that's an important point for you to massage. That's a sign that there's trigger points there that need a little bit of your attention. Just go gently, don't overdo it. I would recommend only about 10 little stroking pressures on any one spot. Move on after 10. You may well find lots of different spots to work on there. And if you do happen to have one of these to hand, which is called a body back buddy, they're sometimes called Scalenes as well, you can get them in various different places, then that's a really good way of getting into all of these muscles in the side of the neck using leverage rather than your fingers. So if at all possible with self-massage, you want to use a tool in order to save your hands. So this is really, really effective for that whole area, side of the neck and into the space just above the collarbone. So that's your scalenes and how to massage them. It should have a positive effect on, you know, those of us that experience headaches, neck tension, any problems through the arm, as I said. So give it a try, get acclimatised to having a little bit of pressure in that area of the neck, and it will do the world of good. Thanks for watching.